Hey everybody, it's Tiffany with Boss on a Budget, and today we're going to talk about the 10 common elements of a grant proposal. Hey everybody, it's Tiffany here. So let's talk about the common sections that you'll find in a grant proposal. So if you've watched a few of my videos, you've probably heard me say that every grant is different. You would think that funders, for the most part would have common processes, but as you go to different funders, you will see different questions. You will see different formats and different processes for submitting your grant proposals. But across all of that, you will see the same kind of questions, the same kind of information that they're requesting of you. So I thought I would do a video about the 10 common sections that you'll see in just about every grant proposal. So you ready? Let's go. Let's do number 1. The first thing you'll typically see is a summary section or an executive summary section. So this is basically summing up your request in a very succinct format, probably in a paragraph format. They're asking for the budget that you're asking for or the amount of the request. They're asking for the location of the grant. They're asking for just a little bit about you as an organization, who you are, just things that kind of sum up the whole request. I think a lot of funders use this as a way to easily organize their process when they're reviewing their grants. And also, it's an easy way when they've awarded certain grantees, they can pull from the executive summary that kind of summarizes the request, and they can use that in whatever dissemination or whatever marketing that they do to describe what the programs are. So number 1 is the summary section that you'll typically see. Number 2 is the need section, or it may be called the problem statement, the need statement, statement of need. You'll see those common terms used for that section. And this is one of the most important sections of your grant proposal. And this section is just all about who you're serving, what are their biggest issues that you're trying to address and trying to resolve, why is it such a big issue, and really what is the key to solving this issue. So this is where you talk about why the people who you're serving need you, why your services are so key, why they're so integral. So this is where you can pull in stories about your organization, about success, and really about how you are uniquely situated to be the organization to address this issue. So the funder doesn't necessarily want to know about your need as an organization. That's part of it, but the most important part of it is, why do the people you're serving or whoever you're serving, why do they need you? What is that issue that you're trying to resolve? The third section that you'll see is about your programming. So it's about program activities, program objectives, anything that describes the work that you do. So as an organization, you may have one program or you may have multiple programs. If you're writing for a particular program or project grant, they want to see information, they meaning the funder, they want to see information about the program. They want to see what the activities are, who are the staff working on the project, how often do you provide the service, what is entailed in the services, a timeline for your services, all that kind of stuff that kind of details what you do should be listed in that program section. The next section is organization information. So any information about who you are as an organization, when were you incorporated, what's your mission, what's your vision, what's your overall goals for the organization, what are your recent accomplishments, things like that that describe your organization are things that the funder wants to see, okay? The next section is about program outcomes and data. So what outcomes are you collecting? What outcomes are you interested in? Are you interested in seeing improvement in reading scores? Are you interested in seeing improvement in graduation rates? Whatever it is that you want to see change for the people that you're serving, those are your outcomes, and the funder needs to know, well, what are those outcomes and how are you doing on those outcomes. So are you reaching those goals? Are you hitting, those goal posts that you set for yourself? And what data are you collecting to show whether or not you're getting there? So that's where you talk about the kind of data you're collecting. What does the data look like? How often do you collect it? Who's responsible for data collection? How often do you report out on it? Things like that about your organization's success will be listed in that section. The next section is staff qualifications, or this can also be listed as organizational qualifications and staff qualifications. So this is where you kind of talk about your organization, you hype yourself up. Why are we this good? Why are we excellent? Why are we the best people to do this? We have this training, we have these excellent staff, we invest in professional development. This is who we are. This is where you kind of big up what you've done, what you've accomplished, and why you're qualified as an organization, and why your staff in particular are qualified to receive this grant or to provide this service that you're trying to provide with the support of the grant. So that's the staff/organization qualification section. The next section is budget, which is one of the most important sections and often the section that funders look at first. So your budget could be just the particular budget for the program that you're writing the grant for. They could also want information about your whole organizational budget. It depends on the funder. It depends on the type of funding request. But this is where you'll list out, expected revenue, what you're bringing in, and what you're spending. So in the formats vary by funder. So I can't really say, well, this is typically what you have to put in your budget, and these are typically the categories. Every funder is different. So this is where you should pay a lot of attention and ask a lot of questions to make sure it has everything that the funder is looking for. But also keep in mind that funders also expect just like funding or budget justifications or a budget narrative to explain what the numbers mean. So if you have $30,000 for staff, you need to break that down. What staff, how much are they getting paid, how many hours for the particular project period. So it's not just about creating a budget and creating the numbers, but it's also creating the narrative behind it to make sure that it matches and the funder can understand why you did things the way you did. And always remember, whatever's in your budget should match what you said you're doing in your program area or your program narrative. Just a little tip, that's free. The next section is about sustainability. So you'll see this question where funders will say, well, how do you plan to continue this program once the funding is over? Or what other funding sources are you seeking out to support this program? You'll see the question kind of posed that way. And funders really are trying to get at, so we don't want to be the only person supporting you, and then once we're out of the picture, the program goes away. We're interested in impact too. We're trying to make a change, but you can't really make a change if as soon as we go away, everything shuts down. So it's your responsibility to be able to say, well, we're working on this fundraising goal, or we're doing this to supplement the income that will be lost when this grant is over, or we're also seeking monies from this person, this person, this person. So funders typically, for the most part, don't want to see that they're the only person supporting you. They don't want to know that as soon as they finish funding you, you close your doors. That's not really attractive to them as a funder. So you have to show that you're doing other things and have other activities to support the operation of your program and also to support your overall organizational functioning. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The next section you're going to see is partnerships. What are the community partnerships that you have as an organization that makes you look much stronger as an organization, and it gives the funder confidence that you'll stick around and that you have some kind of credibility when you've been able to leverage the whatever, programs are around you, businesses or other people you can partner with, lawmakers, government partners. If you're able to kind of leverage that, you're seen as a way more savvy organization, and funders have more confidence that you'll be around for a while. So what partnerships do you have? What things have you done jointly with other organizations? What resources have you gotten from other organizations? Just anything that you've done in conjunction with somebody else. Partnership can be a huge partnership, or a partnership can be we just went in on a joint event, or we sponsored something for this organization. Think creatively about how you can see or how you can show a funder how you've reached out and kind of connected and built a network for yourself in your community. That's very, very important. Funders like to see that. The last section you'll typically see is a section that is kind of a catch-all for attachments, supporting materials, things like that. So funders want to see certain information from you. They want to see your 501c3 letter from the IRS. They probably want to see your articles of incorporation from your state. They more than likely want to see a list of your board members. They want to see financial statements. They may want to see other program materials that you will need to provide as an attachment to your grant proposal. So it will be wise that you have all that information already stored up in a place so that when it's time to submit your package, you have it already there. You can just pull from it and keep it moving. Okay? So those are the 10 most common sections or components of grant proposals that you'll see across most of the grants that you'll apply for. If you want more information or more detail about how to write those sections and what that entails, I have a free webinar. It's a grant writing webinar, Grant Writing 101, that I linked in the description box below. But if you have questions for me, you can always email me at tiffany@bostonabudget.com. I also have a free grant writing support group on Facebook. I linked that in the description box below. See, I have many gifts for you today. And please feel free to subscribe to my channel and also share this video. I wish you all the best. Happy grant writing, and I'll see you next time.